Okay. I've got my office set up now for filming, and I'm trying to get back in the groove of filming things. My next idea is to film a series about my life archive, and this that I'm doing right now is a part of my life archive. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and this now is becoming a part of the archive. And I've transferred hundreds of hours of footage, and I have footage from my birth all the way, actually before my birth. I have my parents' wedding in 1988 and my birth in 1989, and then I'm going to pull it up for me. Nope, wrong one. Okay, so in my life archive, actually, let me just move this over here. In my life archive, I have uploaded to YouTube. How many videos? $386 videos, which I wonder if I can figure out how many hours of footage is on a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube Studio, navigate to Analytics, and set the time frame to lifetime to see total watch time. That's not what I'm looking for. Activity dashboard or watch. That's 8 years ago. No, not watch time. Analytics in YouTube Studio. Okay, let's see if we can find that. Okay, views, watch time, subscribers, top content. Content, there we go. All regular views. Published content. See more. watch time. All videos play all. Okay. Well, anyways, I would like to know how many hours I've uploaded to YouTube, but I do know that I've uploaded, what did that say? ...386 videos, and they start in 1988 with my parents' wedding, and then go all the way through. I mean, to today. There's some areas with large gaps because seasons and eras of technology and life. The season and era that I grew up, born in '89, the '90s were a heavy video camcorder phase. So I have so much footage, those first 10 years of my life and even really 20 years of my life. So much footage. Then there's a gap in my 20s until 2017-ish. I'm like 27. And I start getting into YouTubing because of Casey Neistat and the season and era that my life and technology was at. I don't know if Casey Neistat was the impetus or if he was a motivator, but I began filming again. And I have, multiple weekly vlogs of 2 straight years. Basically 3 vlogs a week for 2 straight years. And then there's a gap. And in the last few years, I have filmed some things intentionally, and all of that footage is uploaded. And then that brings us to today, to this I'm exploring right now and getting like functionally back into sitting here, talking to the camera, having the technology right, having what I want to say in the final video. Basically, this is like pre-production for the main channel YouTube video. And part of the pre-production has been transferring all of my grandpa's tapes this Christmas season, because I have been asking for these tapes for a while, and they said they would look for them, but they never did. And so this Christmas, my dad and I went up in their attic and found them pretty quickly. And I also took all of the VHSs that were in their entertainment center, and I got my gear, all the gear I needed set up to do that, which I've already had a lot of it set up because I've been transferring all of my family tapes since 2016 or 2017 is whenever I started getting all this digitized. And I'm now to the point where, except for, let's say, like my Aunt Treva's tapes, I've transferred all family home movies that have been found. And this most recent batch was the grandpa's attic haul. And that was, I mean, dozens of tapes, and 100 hours like of footage. I don't know what it is. That's why I want to know how long that is. I could find it out the hard way of, I have it all on my hard drive. And I could figure out the first way that I would know how to do that is literally drop every single video into Premiere, but that isn't going to happen. And nor, I don't even know if Premiere can handle it. That it was in analytics or there was a website to tell me. I'm getting distracted because I really do want to know this information. All right, so the era that we're in is I have ChatGPT at my disposal, and let's see if it has a better answer than what Google had. Can I? I'm asking it if I can see how many hours I've uploaded to YouTube. Studio YouTube, content, top left, right, switch the view to table view, list icon, scroll all the way down rows, select all, look at the total row at the bottom. YouTube will show you the total video length for selected videos. Okay, let's try it out. All right. Okay, YouTube Studio. Left sidebar, click content. In the top right, switch the view to table view. Top right, switch the view to table view. Skeptical. Top right. There's nothing in the top right. Bruh. Oh, I could ask Gemini Studio. All right, let's try it out. I'm just going to copy this question. Ask Gemini in the browser while YouTube is open. Can I see how many hours I've uploaded to YouTube? Retrieving your request. Gathering your channel's key metrics. That's a great question. It speaks to the overall volume of content you've put out. While I don't have a specific metric for the exact total number of hours you've uploaded, the sheer length of all the videos combined, I can share the related lifetime numbers that illustrate your channel's scale. Total published content, 392 videos. Total watch time, 272 hours. Okay. 272 hours have been watched, which can be accumulated by 272 people watching an hour video. And I'm going to ask, is there a way for me to find out this information? Is there a way for me to find out how many hours I've uploaded? If I'm saying it out loud, is there a way for me to find out how many hours I've uploaded? That's a very fair follow-up question. Thank you. I'd also agree. I understand you want to see the total number of hours you've invested in creating and uploading content. You can't provide it. You already accomplished something incredible. Oh my God. Boo. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to tell it. I don't see... this. I don't see number 3. Oh, there's multiple number 3s. These instructions were from an older layout. Open content, left sidebar content, correct. You should now see a list of all the videos and columns like visibility, restrictions, date, views, comments, likes. Yes. Use export. This is now the only reliable way. In the top right, click export. All content, CSV. Open content. Yes, done. Visibility restrictions, date, views, comments, likes. Yes. Use export. If I select them all, more actions, no. Oh, well, it does have a download button, but it won't let me. It's grayed out. The download button's grayed out. That's the answer to that question. This is why AI is so powerful, because the speed of which I'm gathering my next question versus its response. The download button is grayed out. Okay. We have to give up on that quest. I do need to get my Aunt Treva's videos, because that's also going to include a percentage of that footage I am present for. And so that needs to be added to the archive. But I think other than that, except for extended family that I'm not aware of having footage. So part of this project is asking for help with this project. And one of those ways that people can help me is, if you were a part of my life at any point and I am on camera, I would like to have that footage or those photos. And so I'm just asking if you come across those to give them to me. And part of this project is I want to vibe code a website that it contains my archive, is my archive. It's CodyJensen.com. I own CodyJensen.com. And up until this point, it's been my portfolio. And I want it to be more than my portfolio. I want to publish my life archive on CodyJensen.com. And a part of that website, I believe, should have a share your Cody footage or Jensen footage or whatever I decide it is. Share your Cody photos and videos, an easy way to give those to me. Just as I go down that rabbit hole, part of what I need to do in that is make it easy, but not make it too easy where anybody can upload anything and send it to me. It's gonna have to be like request permission or request password or something. Because there's going to be so few people who actually have anything for the archive, that the possibility for nonsense is high. And the possibility for somebody not giving me what they have because they have to go through an extra step of getting a password is also really low. Part of this project is the video that's happening right now in real time, is video journaling. That is something that I have pondered on, is being a part of my process, is video journaling. I have been regular journaling on and off for the last few years ultimately because of Sarah, but secondary because of The Artist's Way. But through Sarah, learning The Artist's Way and being taught the practice of morning pages. Cliff Notes is in The Artist's Way. Part of the recommendation is to do something called morning pages, where you longhand journal 3 pages every day, stream of consciousness, and it's a very powerful practice. And I go through seasons of it being a regular part of my practice, but because it is a practice and it takes so much time, you have to be committed to the practice to experience the fruits. And it doesn't get... The fruits of a practice are encouragement to keep going because you desire the taste of that fruit than anything else. So yes, it is motivating, but any practice, no matter how tasty the fruit, is still work, and work takes everything it takes. And I've fallen in and out of that practice. And right now, I'm in it. It's only been a couple weeks, but I've been doing it every day, and I already... what is happening as part of the fruit of it, like this actual creation that is being archived. And in today's longhand journaling, part of what came out of my brain was video journaling, and in part because thinking about Lent, that Lent is coming up next Wednesday, which is 8 days from now, and what my Lent is going to be like, because I already know I'm going to be fasting. And part of fasting isn't just what you're giving up, it's the space you're creating and what you're doing with it. And so I was pondering upon doing what I'm doing right now, video journaling. And it is Good Morning Tuesday, February 10th. And maybe during Lent I do 40 video journals as a part of my practice. Which this is an experiment of what that would be, because this is 24 minutes of stream of consciousness, and this is exactly what the morning pages is like. Of you're not trying to control the narrative, you're just like writing, and it goes in and out of different subjects, or I don't necessarily need to explain stream of consciousness to you. But I was just thinking about it, and yeah, I think that's a strong feeling. Part of that feeling was how much battery? Part of that feeling, I'm going to start and restop it. I'm not restopping it, I'm restarting it. But one thing that I ideated about this video journal being was me opening up my notes, and I have a note. Well, I had a note. I need to see if I do. That would suck if I don't, but I had in my notes all iCloud. I need is there all everywhere? So when I'm okay, so I had a note of stories, and it was just literally a running list of stories, like just titles of memories. Yes, okay, I found it. Childhood Memories is the name of the note. And there's a few dozen things on this list, and I thought it would be interesting to just start telling some of these stories out loud. So the first one just says oppression. So the reason it says oppression is because whenever I was, I believe, under 8 years old, 100%. Saying 100% makes me want to back it down, because I'll try to tell the truest version of the story to the best that I can remember. And I was under 10 years old. There's this is exactly what writing the journal is like, because I am having two thoughts, and I can only journal one of those thoughts. And then there's the third meta of writing, which is storytelling. So I'm telling my notebook a story of today, of my current thought, but it's a narrative. And I try my absolute best. The narrative is the truth and doesn't withhold the vulnerability, or while including the knowledge that this piece of media can be consumed. And if it's consumed immediately, like if somebody was to read today's journal, it creates and leaves a different impression than if this journal was being read by somebody 10 years after it was written. And the more time and so on. I mean, because I've even thought about adding my written journals to the archive. But it almost feels like this is the spectrum, I think, of art in this. Ultimately, I think that the value in these journals being read by somebody other than myself, and the fruit of the labor of the work versus the consumption and value of what is being written down at a later date. Posthumously, my grandkids or great grandkids, or even my kids, posthumously, receiving these writings and the sweetness of that. With the vulnerability of it all, making it all that much more sweeter. Getting to know somebody in ways that could never be known without access to the stream of consciousness. And the art of it, the art of what I'm doing and things that I have to think about and decide, is this life archive. It making it public is for me because this is what I feel. It's for the immediate people that find it interesting or nostalgic, thus makes them feel good, and the art of making so much of your life public. It is an art piece. The art, the publishing of it is its own art piece. Then the content of what is published is also the art. It's a character in this universe of ours that in 1989 was birthed, and the player characters in this story named him Cody. And the capture and narrative of this life through home movies is its own art piece. And one of the things that I've thought about recently is leaving all of this, leaving all of what I have in legacy. And I've thought about putting in my I've thought about putting in my will who I want to edit my funeral video, and just thinking about I want to edit and produce my own funeral video. I want this video to be extremely long and contain even more, many more decades of footage and content. I would like to live a long and fruitful and joyous life. But I think about now, even, that I want to see my cut of the Cody Jensen archive, and then if I can will it, it's like making it public gives the opportunity for anyone to edit and create the digestible piece of art. The raw is undigestible for the vast majority of people. And this is my thought process. Like, you're witnessing my thought process into me speaking of the feature-length version of the edit of my life archive. That part of me is like, there's an idea that I've been working on within everything I've been speaking about that is growing in my mind right now. I've been wanting to go ahead and create this cut and keep adding to it. And my birthday is in a month, and I'm pondering upon the idea of publishing on my main channel. This is 37. I'm getting, I'm trailing into what it would be titled, but the actual idea is to make a cut make the first draft cut of the movie. This is going to be in the movie. That was an inside joke that works on so many levels. The first draft of the cut of the Cody Jensen archive. And the idea of once a year it's a year of the additional seconds of 2027 are added next year. No, the additional moments from being 37 are added to 38's video. But this year gets, while I'm speaking out loud, I'm also thinking about what the title of it is, because I feel like I had an idea for a title the other day. And so I'm partly trying to find that, and then partly the title is so important, and it helped me really realize what this looks like. We'll keep some processing power on that one, but for my birthday this year, I wonder if I would just thought that I'm going to be doing this as a practice for the 40 days leading up to Easter. And one of the things that I can fill my time with is the first cut of Cody Jensen at 37. I don't know if I think it should have my name in it. That's such a through line in the Cody Jensen archive, is even as a small child, I would present Cody Jensen. Cody Jensen presents his disco. Yeah, there's so many things. It's like it is the life story of Cody Jensen up until 37 years old. Okay. So we're back on the ranch. That's an Amy Sueism. Is oppression. So the story of oppression is, at the age of less than 10, I have grown up going to my grandparents' church, and so I have this knowledge in my brain. before this moment, um, I want to say it. I believe it is 5 years old, and the reason I believe it's 5 years old is because this was at my grandparents' house, and up until I was 5 years old, I was over at my grandparents' house. I mean, literally every day. It was, she watched me as my parents worked, and uh, whenever I turned 5 years old, my sister is born, and we also moved house, and my mom also didn't work to raise the two of us at that time, starting then. And so there's a memory that I have of, this is actually pre-oppression story, but I'm rolling with it. Uh, I I remember being in her living room, and a voice that I knew at this age, it was a I know what thoughts are, and I know what my own voice sounds like, and another voice said, "Go behind that chair and ask Jesus into your heart." And so I went behind that chair and I asked Jesus into my heart, and I went about playing. No one's in the room. My grandma is watching me, but I'm in the living room playing alone. And that, in part, is why one of my next tattoos is going to be a chair, and that's to represent that moment. Since since we're in the long form stream of consciousness version of this, I still have to figure out what chair it is, and if it's my grandma's chair. And I've thought about just making a very simple, like, folding chair, or just even a very simple chair shape, versus like the movie Up, chairs shape. But if it was going to be grandma's chair, the shape essentially of grandma's chair in Up, to represent my grandma's chair, that the Holy Spirit led me to kneel behind this. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, kneel behind the chair of this woman of faith who, actively prayed for me. That in this moment, the voice this is the first memory I have of hearing the voice that I call Holy Spirit, that are the reason I have every single one of my tattoos, because each one of these is a story of hearing his voice. And so one of my ideas, before I get to the oppression story, if I ever do, is doing an Instagram and or YouTube series. It would be both, of Cody Jensen tattoo stories. And so my first video in that series, video/podcast of that series, is going to be this whale. And my guest is going to be Cassidy Wickersham, because I have this tattoo because of her. And it's starting off with a bang, and it is evidence of the truth of every other tattoo I would tell you the story of. So that's the first version of that. This voice told me to go behind this chair and ask Jesus into my heart. I did it, and then I went about playing. Fast forward a few years. I don't know how long that time frame is. That's why I say under 10, but older than 5. I stayed the night at my grandparents' house, and it's what I remember as late at night. I don't know. It's dark, and I'm laying on the couch trying to go to sleep. My grandparents are already in bed. The clock is on the wall, ticking, and I just feel this like weight come upon me where I feel heavy, and the clock is like, faintly just like, it's just getting louder and louder, and I'm getting heavier and heavier, and I'm being like pressed into the couch, and I'm just like scared out of my mind, frightened, laying there, and the everything is the clock is like as loud as you could imagine, just like it's just so loud, and the weight on my chest is so great. And then in my head, either through thought or through divine voice, I'm not going to claim which one, say the word of Jesus. And finally I'm like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And all things end or are back to familiar. This happens again. There's 2 more times where this has happened, and the next 2 times they've happened were both at birthday parties. One for sure I know was mine at Mazio's, and the other one I'm pretty sure was mine at Putt Putt while my parents owned it. And it was like just the same, everything I described in the first experience, just the same kind of feeling of the pressing and everything getting loud, and they were in like crowded and a lot of expectation on me environments, and it's my birthday, so I have to, there was something that wasn't, it was overwhelming in whatever ways it was overwhelming. It overwhelmed me. And what I believe now in my adulthood is that first experience that I call oppression was, I thought my whole life that this was a demonic presence that I needed to say Jesus to shoo away. So I now understand those were panic attacks, that that is what a panic attack is and can feel like. And so there's both truths. There's the truth that I had this panic attack at between 6 and 10 years old, alone at my grandparents' house that I was very familiar with, sleeping over. I don't remember being scared. I mean, because I mean, that house is super familiar to me, and so are the people. So I don't remember being, logically I can reason that I wasn't scared, but I don't remember, like, from my memory, I don't remember fear, and I don't remember like anxiety, essentially. Like, I don't remember a motive that would have led into being overwhelmed emotionally this night. And so that part, the unexplainability of it, one, leaves room for mystery, theory, story, myth, all the things that the spiritual realm is at all times. But for whatever reason, I had a panic attack, and then I had a panic attack then, and saying the word Jesus out loud dissipated that panic attack. So both of those things are true. And yeah, that's the story of oppression. That's the updated stream of consciousness version of reading the word oppression under the title Childhood Memories, because there would have been time in my life that I would tell you about being demonically oppressed and didn't know that it was a panic attack. Yeah. Riding bike to school, mom crying, better, more humorous story. Um, so I'm sick. This is my first year of school. So I'm assuming I'm 6 or 7, and I ride my bike to school. I'm allowed to ride my bike to school because we live, I mean, 6 blocks from the school, 6 to 10 blocks. Um, I doubt it'd even be 10. Uh, and on the same street, don't even have to turn. You just literally, it's like go that way, and you'll wind up in school. So my mom lets me ride my new bike to school, and actually we could find out the exact information because one of my birthdays that we have footage of in the archive is me getting a bike, and also another one of me riding a bike. And so you can see which one of those are earlier, and that's my first bike, and that's whenever I was that's one of the ages that I would have been riding my bike to school. uh, I ride my bike to school, and whenever it comes time to leave, the teacher and principal, the school staff, they supersede my mom's decision to allow me to ride my bike home. Um, and they keep me there and don't let me come home. I believe they tried to call her. I don't know that information, but I believe it. Um, and a certain amount of time passes, enough time that I should have been home, and then like enough time that my mom was freaking the fuck out because her son rode his bike to school, and it's however much time had passed, and he's not home. She's driven to the school. The only There's nowhere else I should be but at the school or on the way on the street she's driving. She makes it to the school bawling and walks into the office, and I'm sitting there, with my backpack on a bench, and just seeing my mom's face in that moment was an experience of love I hadn't felt, because I remember crying on the way home, just like looking out the window, seeing my mom in her emotion of thinking that I'm gone. And that made me cry on the way home, just feeling so loved. So that's that childhood memory. My battery's about to die, and I need to start and stop it. I need to stop and restart it. Okay. Just thinking about like how, like, is this what I'm doing right now? It is 100% a part of the archive. How long before it's part of the public archive is the thought that I was on, which made me think about telling you that another part of the Cody Jensen archive that I have uploaded and public is my drug experiences, both with weed and with mushrooms. I have a 7.5 hour multi-camera coverage of my first mushroom trip. From driving there to everything that happened before to consuming to the experience that followed, including like an hour and a half of me standing alone in a room making the most wild and insane sounds, and then the afterword of integrating and capturing the internal thoughts of everything that had happened in that experience. That exists and that's out there. And that's part of the art of this all, is being vulnerable. And then I have a position in ministry that requires me to be appropriately vulnerable. And I have to discern and navigate the thin razor edge, because I'm called to be an artist. And the artist has to live on the thin razor edge of vulnerability. That is very much what art is. And that's just something I have to think about, you know? Of like, I'm recording this. It can go on the hard drive. It can be uploaded and scheduled for upload. It can be scheduled for upload in a day, in a year, 5 years, 10 years. Like what's the time gap? The most vulnerable is obviously, well, it would be live streaming it. That would be the most vulnerable, I think. Let's say yes, that would be the most vulnerable, with the caveat that it being a live stream makes it something else. Because this is live stream of consciousness, there's record and proof that nothing has happened that you haven't seen. The only thing that you don't know is the thoughts in between what is said. But I am trying to say, as much as I'm capable of processing into language. And the most vulnerable may be live streaming, but the act of live streaming changes what it is, because it creates participation and feedback, and doesn't allow for the authentic moment of this being a video journal. That was long-winded answer for me to process. That's the whole point. Because this isn't intended to be viewed. Yeah, it's not intended. Its purpose is the purpose it's serving at this moment. the adding it to the archive is a gift for future Cody. The art of making public what most people would keep private is vulnerable, is the art. Then I'm getting back to my original thought that led us on the side quest of whether live stream was the most vulnerable, but the most vulnerable is publishing, the same day or the next day of recording it. And the only thing is my position in ministry and whether or not it is wise, essentially. And then when does the vulnerability become appropriate? I feel like a year at minimum. I think it could be scheduled for a year, and let's say that this daily video journaling, maybe it lasts longer than the 40 days of Lent, but it begins then. So if this was to be a continued practice and a continued art project, 1 year would make sense in the testament of the peace, that it's something that happens for 40 days every year, and it is made published what I'm thinking is that I have to watch it before it goes public, and that is I mean, everything that's on the YouTube channel I have watched, and yeah, just thinking about the many levels of that, all the power of it, the art of it, the appropriate vulnerability, scale. Um, 1 year at minimum. So in the meantime, what I can know is that 1 year from now, I make a decision of whether or not 1 year is long enough. So I don't have to make the decision now, is what I'm saying. Okay, so then the other decision would be, how long is the video journal? I don't have to decide how long this one is, because this is exploration into future projects, and in this future project where I create at least is either 40 or 34, because if I don't do this on Sundays, because Sundays are feast day of Lent, or it is 40, and how long are those? I think hour maximum, 30-minute 30 minutes actually makes a lot of sense, both in giving an hour a day to something else, which, i- if I'm to continue, I also want to. I want to sit in silence and stillness for an hour every day, and I want to journal for however long it takes me to write at least a page. And then doing this, in all of that, it's an appropriate ask of me for 30 minutes. Also, it makes sense because this camera only records for 30 minutes. And so, just like I journal through a page, the stream of consciousness has to make it to the end. So, if I'm not quite there yet, I have to say more. It also creates I only have this till the end of the page, and one of my rules for writing is that if I start a page, that page has to be filled. I can't break it up. The next journal has to be at the top of the next page, and there can be no gaps. Is a rule I have for myself. 30-minute timer. When it runs out, the recording stops, so I have to make the decision to start it again or not. And I think that is a good. I have to start it until it runs out, and I have to get it out in that amount of time. A 30-minute video journal every day during Lent. That sounds good. And this video, so here's the next question. This video that gets scheduled for a year from now, but the video journals of this Lent, in its context, are they uploaded immediately or not? I think I will have to leave that for future Cody to decide, because I think I'll know pretty quickly. Because if I am meditating an hour a day and journaling before I do this, I think I will know through those practices whether or not I'll know within one day, or I'll know within a few days whether or not it should be published now or scheduled for a year. The next story in my childhood memories is skates getting stolen. Brother rats out brother. Whenever I was 12 years old, I got some K2 skates for Christmas, and so when I was 11 years old, when I got some K2 skates for Christmas, I started aggressive inline skating, and then that summer, whenever I was 12, my dad had built the skate park in the back of the Splash Zone water park, and I was out there skating with all my buddies, and they wanted to. One of them could drive or something. Like, I don't remember what led to the situation. No, I think I had to go to church. I think I had to go to church, and so for some reason, instead of taking my skates into the office like I should have, I took them off and hid them underneath like one of the ramps, where I thought, I mean, basically, unless you were looking, you couldn't see them. Um, and I get back from church or wherever it actually was, um, and they're gone. And I have a moto photo of me wearing my skates as a 12-year-old. Um, and so we printed that out on a piece of paper with the words stolen. So I would imagine like some reward, um, for any information leading to to getting these skates back. And I don't know how long it was. It was, let's just assume within a week. A child came to the counter and said, "I know where those skates are." And my mom or my dad was like, "Oh yeah?" And it's like, "Yeah, my brother has them." And he ratted out his brother, and I got my skates back. uh, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to that story, because I mean, whatever his punishment was, but yeah, I don't remember. So, what I'm working on is getting comfortable doing this so that I can start working on the project that I want to work on. The first video being, I'm starting a new project, I need your help. My life archive is what exactly that video, what I'm going to say in that video. So writing the script to that video essentially, because either writing a script or knowing the outline of the video so that I can do a stream of consciousness, but not an hour and a half of stream of consciousness that I have to edit down into the video. The video being basically parts of what I've said here about I've been working on my life archive, and I have 300 and whatever odd. I have hundreds of hours of video footage that I have transferred, and tens of thousands of photos that I have scanned, and organized by date into my camera roll. And just talking about that, because that itself has talking points and interest points of just that the archive exists and when it starts, what's included, what's interesting about it. And then the I need your help part is, if you are a part of my life at all, send me what you have if you come across it. Then two, I need to get, this isn't two in the video, but this is part of the video, that I need to get a NAS server or RAID bay to get all of my photos and videos onto one hard drive, instead of spread out on multiple, and have it physically backed up. And, hopefully I can have enough of a YouTube audience to leverage that to get a sponsor for said hard drives or NAS server, etc. Then what am I asking for? Oh, further help. Then the more important help, the actual, I think, the other interesting thing about this, I need your help because I want to vibe code a website that is the Cody Jensen Archive with all of my YouTube videos, all of these photos gathered and organized together and viewable. And I don't know how to do that. I'm inviting them to join me on the journey of me learning that, how to do that and publishing it. And I'm also asking for their help. And I literally don't know anything. And they're going to be hopefully there are a lot of people who are watching who can help me and make the process of knowing nothing be faster and with less pain points. And then, I think that, those are the three things of that video. And then the subsequent video series can and will include how to transfer your footage, how to scan your photos, and how to organize your digital library. And then sharing the knowledge I know, and then videos of me in the process of vibe coding. Sharing, I literally, it would be vlogging. It would be this. Part of this exploration is visually what those videos will look like. So I have a big screen here that I would, mostly look at, and I have a secondary screen here that is like, basically occasional look at. And so if you are up there, which I think is the best shot, this is what it would look like. You'd see the side of my face a lot because I'm looking at what I'm vibe coding. This screen would be being recorded, which is an interesting thing because shrinking the pixels that I'm seeing down to that size the file size of the screen recording, 1, 2, if it is legible at all, if this screen was but I could also just record part of the screen, like, I'm thinking out loud here, not that you didn't know that. I could just screen record part, and that would leave all this other room over here for things that they don't see, for me to see, to keep me organized and things. Or while I'm screen recording, this screen's resolution would have to be set to 4K or whatever. Okay, that's too deep in the woods of what I'm really trying to, everything that is happening is what I'm doing this for. Okay. I think I've told some stories, which gives me information on that. I've recorded this, which gives me information on that process of it. Sound, lighting, angles, all those things. Progress on the next few projects. One, a new thought, or the largest update being the attempt for some odd 40 video journals during Lent. Then progress on the archive series that, as a whole, the progress of whether this video is what we're looking for, lighting is what we're looking for, sound is what we're looking for, and then progress on the scripting of the first video. Yeah. I think that's all that needs to happen in this Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 video. And big one. The potential attempt of cutting together the Cody Jensen at 37 video. Yeah, that. Now that I have this in this way, basically YouTube acts as a spreadsheet for me as well, because I have them all. Okay, it ended because it ran out of time, which means we all get it. This is the end. Signing off. Bye.